After seeing this film, I will not bitch or moan about how cold it is evermore. Now, The Great is one of those sort of survival genre films that tests that a human being's will and strength, but when you throw wolves into the mix, it kind of ups the level of the whole testament of a human being. And we ain't talking like werewolves, these are just actual proper wolves in their environment, and they are vicious as hell. Now, the plot of the story is kind of very simple. Liam Neeson and his sort of co-workers from this oil refinery are on this plane, probably going like away visiting family, friends, whatnot. The plane suddenly crashes in the middle of Alaska, and the remaining survivors not only have to survive the vicious cold, but also a pack of wolves. And these wolves are vicious, and they will hunt them down one by one until there's none left. Now, normally I always put the good points first instead of the bad, but I feel I need to put the bad points first because there actually really isn't any bad points. The only thing I'd probably say, it's kind of slow to begin with, but as soon as, you know, after the first like 10 minutes, everything picks up and it's non-stop. So that's the only thing I've got to say that bad about it. But the rest, oh my god, I need to praise this film. The first good point is Joe Kinahan is the one that's directed and written this film, and he really chooses the settings, the frames and everything about it really well. It's very well done. The scenes, the atmosphere, you kind of feel what they're kind of feeling a wee bit, and by god, now this film I think has a couple of jump scares in it, but oh my god, you're so tensed on your seat that you feel like you need to keep watching to see if something pops out, and you think you know what's going to happen, and all of a sudden, no, something completely different happens, and you're like, jeez! Now, Liam Neeson actually holds this film all together, because you can't have, you know, just a regular guy probably doing this. You know, it probably wouldn't be as good, but he literally owns this film, and you kind of feel this guy's kind of sorrow in a way, and you kind of want to be, you don't want to argue with this guy, like, you really want to stay with him because you feel that he will get you there. And even the supporting cast are actually really good in this film. There's one guy in it you will absolutely hate at first. You think he's a complete douche, you don't like him, and you want him to be the first one to be killed off. But in actual fact, he actually comes around and you start to kind of like cheer him on a bit, and I actually think that's really cool in how the director has done that. But I've got to say, the star of the whole film are actually the wolves itself. One of the scenes you'll notice is like Liam and his remaining survivors, you know, they've got a sort of fire going, and then they hear something. Liam gets the stick and puts it out, and you only see like one wolf, you know, just glowing eyes, and then all of a sudden more sort of pop out. You're like, oh shit, like you really feel kind of like, oh, those are kind of out there. And the thing is, it's in the complete dark. You know that they can't see in the dark, but they can see in the dark, and and the way that they pick these people, these wolves work as a team, and by god, you can see how strong teamwork are. They pick, you know, the weakest. I mean, there's this one guy who's lacking behind from the rest. He lacks so behind that he ain't got enough time to warn the others that there's wolves coming, and they just go, nah, you're gone, you're dead, that's it. And now for the score, and this film gets the score of epicness, and by god, it deserves it all. It's very well directed, very well shot, very well acted, the scenes are fantastic, and this film does something to me that hasn't been done in like a couple of years, since Up was out. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but at the end of this film, it made me kind of cry a wee bit. And like I said, that hasn't happened to me since Up, you know, a couple of years ago. But this, you know, that's the scene and how that plot divides up, you know, it's totally magical, and I absolutely love it for that. Oh, and one more thing, stay after the credits. Something happens, and I think you're going to like it.